Hello, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Cross Watchers. This is your tarot and oracle reading for the second quarter of 2024. So this will cover April, May, and June. The animal spirit that is going to represent this time for you is the spider. Beautiful. This is definitely a time of creation and feeling connected to everyone. This is that I am energy, a part of the web of life. And guys, this is going to be an immensely productive time for you when it comes to creation, whatever that means, putting your work out there. A lot of you are churning things out. For example, if you have like a side hustle of like sewing your own clothes, and maybe you have like an Instagram account where you show off your designs, you are making so much during this quarter. Or if you have your own business in any way, shape, or form, it is really taking off. Okay, if you make art, you're making a lot of art. If you make music, you're making a lot of music. If you're somebody who loves going hiking and foraging and sharing that content online, you are doing that a lot during this quarter. So I really, really love this energy for you. The spider spirit also connects with people who are extremely connected to spirit, especially mediums, light workers, people like that. Okay, the spider is definitely a familiar of any witches and people who use the law of attraction. So there is a lot of manifestation and magic in the air for you at this time, which is not surprising because you have a major Aries placement, and in April we will have the sun in Aries for most of April, as well as the total lunar eclipse on April 8th, which is in your sign as well, Mercury retrograde in your sign. So there's a lot of power, a lot of magic for you at this time. Use it wisely and follow your creative ideas. If you wake up one day and you had something planned, something scheduled, like maybe you were going to, I don't know, go to the gym or something, but you have this random urge to deep clean your entire house, follow that urge because it may not come back again. So like sort of follow your natural urges, and you're going to get boosts where you're going to be hyper focused on creating something or doing something, and it's going to make you feel really, really good. So follow those motions. Your overall spiritual theme and lesson during the second quarter is taming the wind in reverse, and this has the number 55. So you may be seeing 555 a lot. Wind in general, okay? Wind in general represents changes, so I'm not surprised that whoever made this deck chose the number 55 to go along with it, because the number 5 represents changes as well. All right, taming the wind, taming the changes of your life, sculpting your life ahead. It says here, the feather, a symbol that is used for clearing ceremonies, for smudging, reminds you of the sacred commitment that you make to life. This is the symbol of consciously bringing the spiritual into the material, infusing the world with reverence and acknowledgement for the higher planes of existence that influence and animate all life. The feather is a symbolic reminder of deliberately entering into a partnership with the Great Spirit to co-create for the highest good of all. So like I said, this is a highly, highly, highly creative time for you, and you're being invited to co-create with reality and really bring about blessed change in this world, even if that change is just through you sharing your own creations and visions with the world. Now, this is coming out in reverse, so there is something that you're being invited to heal during this second quarter. Here's what it says. It's time to clean up any misunderstandings with others. Aries, I was just thinking about this as I was shuffling your cards. I was getting this vision and I'm like, man, how am I going to deliver that message? Because it is one that you're probably going to resist here. You may have certain misunderstandings with people. You may be no contact with certain individuals. And now I'm not going to sit here and accuse you of that for every single misunderstanding that you have. Certainly other people are to blame as well. However, have you taken accountability for your part in the misunderstanding? That's the question, because I was getting this energy that a lot of Aries, you have some sort of misunderstanding, or you may not be in contact with either like a family member, an old friend, a lover, something like that. And in which way have you perhaps been quick to judge this person, or quick to get defensive and self-sabotage this connection? Or perhaps, viewing yourself as somehow above the other person because you might not do certain things that they do, or they may operate life differently than you. I don't know. I got that vision and it may apply to you. It might not. Some of you may be in resistance to it, but if it resonates, run with it. Okay, it's time to clear up misunderstandings with others. Clear the air. Clear the air after disagreements and allow others to share their sides of things. Wow. You are called now to be a good listener. This is not the time to be right. It's a time for you to understand rather than be understood. Good things come out of this restraint of tongue and pen. You will be surprised at how things get quickly resolved when you allow for all sides to have value. Aries, I felt that so strongly for you before we began this reading, and I almost didn't even want to share it with you because I felt the resistance to that message. I mean, it is difficult to admit when you're being a know-it-all. It's difficult to admit when you perhaps did not, you were so busy getting offended or feeling misunderstood that you didn't realize you weren't understanding the other people as well. You weren't making space to understand them. And a lot of the argument that you may have had with someone may have been a bit of a projection. You feeling misunderstood by life, by reality, and then you don't make the time or space to understand other people because you're trying so hard to be understood. And it's time to clear the air. Spirit is saying, don't carry this energy with you into the future for any longer. You know, a lot of you may still feel a strong attachment to someone whom you may not be in contact with or may have had some sort of big misunderstanding with. And the reason for that is because there is still lessons for you to learn there that you were meant to learn and you did not. Okay, so if you feel that strong attachment, really dig into that and ask yourself, get vulnerable with yourself, press into that. Why am I still attached here? What lesson haven't I learned from this pure soul? Okay, every person you meet in life has some sort of lesson or blessing for you to take on. We are all fragments of spirit, of universe, God, whatever you want to call it. And when you aim to understand the other fragments and unite with them and exchange wisdom with them, you become a bigger fragment of light, a bigger fragment of spirit, of source. We're all expanding in that way. It's through connecting with each other and having new experiences and being exposed to other fragments of spirit that we're able to expand our light and our consciousness. And there is definitely someone from your past whom you still feel this strong attachment to, even though you may not be in contact. And the reason for that is because you did not fully embody and understand their light and understand where they were coming from and understand what they were trying to teach you and show you. And you didn't fully empathize with them. Now, it's not to say that if they did anything wrong to you, that what they did was okay. Okay, but this is saying when you fully understand where someone's coming from, even if they did you wrong, you can release that resentment. And this is also not to say that if this person treated you really, really badly, that you should go back to them either, by the way. For some of you, you are being guided to go back and clear the air and become friends again. Okay, but for others of you, that may not be in your best interest, and that is your decision to make. And no matter which circumstance you're in, it is important to fully understand what the lesson here was and what their soul was trying to teach you. Because once you embody that, you no longer will feel this devastating, strong sort of attachment and resentment and a feeling like you missed out on something. Okay, we have the first quarter moon. Your commitment is being tested. Your commitment to yourself, your commitment to your goals, to your dreams, to those you love, it's all being tested at this time. And what does that mean? Are you going to maintain this strong foundation that you've created for yourself of self-love and discipline when you're in the midst of challenge, when you're in the midst of deep honeymoon style love, when you're in the midst of any of these big emotional triggers? Will you continue to have that foundation within yourself of peace and consistency and discipline? That is the real question. I feel like in the past where you may have went wrong was you prioritized other people and big emotional triggers over that healthy foundation within yourself. And you really lost yourself in relationships and other things in the past, obsessions in the past. And what you've learned, which is now going into practice in this quarter, is how to have that strong foundation of discipline within yourself. Okay, even if you're really excited about a new project, even if you're really excited about a new relationship, you still have the foundation of, okay, I'm going to work out 3 times a week. I'm going to eat breakfast every day. I'm going to, keep these things that I do in my routine, keeping my house clean, things like that. I am not going to neglect that part of myself because I'm really, really excited or devastated over some external input. Okay, I feel like that's where you went wrong in the past. If you had a really big challenge or emotional upset or emotional excitement and passion, you sort of lost yourself in that, and then you let things go neglected, like your house would fall into disrepair, you would stop eating breakfast, you would, forget to do the things to care for yourself, and then that would make your mental health really slip up, and then it just became a downward spiral from there. And that became like a repetitive pattern in your life, and I feel like you now have the wisdom to maintain this strong foundation within yourself, and Spirit is saying it is safe for you to enjoy these high level love and relationships, passion, excitement, now that you know to keep that foundation. These relationships and these exciting things in your life, they're not going to throw your life out of balance as long as you have the boundaries to continuously maintain your foundation, whatever that is. For example, if you get into a relationship and it feels all consuming, like you love this person so much you want to spend every second with them, you can have the boundaries with yourself to say, okay, while I want to spend every second with you, I know it's important for my mental health to keep my house clean and see my friends at least once a week and, do this, that, the third, whatever your things are. So though when I'm doing that, we're just not going to let our relationship, I've just lost what I was trying to say. I got distracted because there's a black cat outside and it's so cute. Some of you guys may have a black cat as your spirit guide. Some of you may have a black cat. Black cats are honestly a sign of luck. Really good luck. I think it's so funny that at somewhere in time someone was like, black cats are bad luck. Every time I've seen a random black cat, I've had like super tremendously lucky things happen to me that same day. And I have a black cat, and she is literally the most snuggly, adorable creature on the planet. A lot of you know her because she likes to show up in all of my videos. She's not going to show up today because there's strangers downstairs and she hides, but yeah, very, very funny. Anyways, that was a whole tangent about cats. Some of you may be adopting a cat during this quarter, perhaps. Or maybe you recently did that. We're going to get 6 cards, 2 rows of 3 from the Good Tarot to further elaborate on this energy for you this quarter. They're all face down. Let's see what they are. We have the Hierophant in reverse. Okay, going your own way with something. I am seeing you being your own spiritual guru. So you're definitely not following a typical traditional path with things. It feels like you're trailblazing something. You're doing something in a way that most people don't do it. For example, let's just say you write a book, and most people would submit their book to different publishing companies, things like that. And you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna publish it myself and see what happens. That would be you going your own way, doing your own thing. If you are a musician, this could be you creating your own music label or whatever. Again, publishing everything yourself, doing everything yourself. I'm seeing something there, a high degree of independence. It's like, I'm just going to do it myself, I don't need a teacher, I don't need guidance, I'm going to do it myself. And it's not to diminish the value in having guidance and having a teacher or following that traditional path and following in people's footsteps, because when you follow in people's footsteps, it is a bit easier, isn't it? But when you do something completely on your own, you have more equity in the success, if that makes sense. More money, literally, if it's a business that you're doing, or just, I don't know, it's way more challenging when you do everything on your own. But at the same time, you just have more equity in the success. I don't know how else to put it. All right. We have the Magician coming out, Aries. First off, I really correlate the Magician with your energy, with the 1 here, you being the first sign of the zodiac. And this totally correlates with the Spider energy of creating, really, really channeling your dreams into physical reality. Your commitment is being tested. I feel like I get visions of you working really hard on releasing something to the public, putting something out there and working super hard towards it. It's like you're just churning out good idea after good idea. And I keep seeing this vision of releasing it to the public under your own company, corporation, whatever. It's like you don't have a manager, you don't have business that you're doing this through. Does that make sense? I'll give you a personal example. So I obviously sell psychic readings. I could easily probably make a lot more money doing that if I started out on these websites where they already have an audience for that. And I would have to follow all their rules, do things by their book. But instead, I decided, you know what, I'm going to create my own business, my own Etsy shop, my own website, my own everything. I see you doing something like that, where it's like you're putting something out in the world, you're manifesting some sort of dream, but you're not doing it through a company or corporation or someone else. You are literally navigating your own path, and on that path you will run into way more challenges, but at the same time you can do things the way that you want to do them. You have more equity in your business. You have less fees. For example, when I left, well, I'm still on Etsy technically, but when I created my website and I offered the same exact rating, same exact price there, I made a ton more money from that because I didn't have all these Etsy fees coming out. So it's like you're doing something like that, I don't know how else to put it. We have the 10 of water. This is emotional happiness, emotional fulfillment. I don't know why I'm seeing some sort of reconciling with your own past. Even if you're not talking to someone again, you're reconciling with what happened in the past. And there is a great happiness there, which is beautiful. Second row of cards out, we have the moon in reverse. Okay, not knowing where things are going. There is a deeply emotional element to this, having to get real with yourself and definitely overcoming quite a bit of challenges, but it's going to be very, very fulfilling work. Some of you may run into some occasional doubts within yourself or like mental health issues. Am I making the right choice? And falling back into old psychological habits and ways that aren't the best for you. I literally just had someone bust into this room mid filming, and I think that's very symbolic. There are no coincidences. I definitely feel like with the moon in reverse, there may be some very sudden hang-ups or like interruptions, I guess you could say. And these interruptions may not be bad, because the interruption that I had was very positive, but it did like throw me off a little bit. So there could be something like that. I keep coming back to this, like you're on your grind, you're building this beautiful momentum, and then there's something beautiful that randomly takes place and enters your life. And there's almost a fear here of like, will this beautiful, passionate thing that's coming in throw me off the momentum that I'm building in my life? Will this throw me off of what I am accomplishing here? And like we said, as long as you maintain that foundation of self-love, self-care, and not allowing these beautiful things to completely throw you off like it has in the past, you'll be fine. You already have this wisdom, and as long as you maintain those boundaries, you'll be fine. And it's like amazing to let these beautiful interruptions come in your life. We have the Four of Earth. All right, I am seeing something here about finances and saving up money because you may have some pretty big goals ahead of yourself. Some of you may be worried a little, not worried, but like feeling like you don't quite have an abundance of money, and you're working towards that, working hard. We also have, I had a feeling this was going to come out as I was saying that, the 10 of Earth. Literally, I'm sitting here, you may be worrying about finances. I'm like, watch the 10 of Earth comes out. In my head, I was thinking that. And then, of course, the 10 of Earth is the last card. So this is actually a really cool combination, going from the Four of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles. This is a sudden increase in wealth and success there, successfully saving up a lot of money. Also, there could be some very unexpected finances coming in. This could be a gift, an inheritance. This could be like finding an account or an old thing that you weren't paid for just randomly popping in, something like that. This could even be unexpected, really big gifts, like maybe someone literally gives you their old car or something, or something like that. And wow, look at these cards, the 10 of Earth and the 10 of Cups right on top of each other. Those of you who read tarot, you know, these are two long-term happy cards here. I feel for a lot of you that if you're not currently in a long-term happy romantic relationship, you may enter a long-term happy romantic relationship. Others of you who are already in that, I feel like you may have been saving up some money to maybe move in together or do something big together, like a really cool vacation or wedding, something like that, and you save successfully during this quarter. Okay, and you may I don't know, some of you may actually be doing that this quarter, or it's like you finally have all your ducks in a row and you're able to do it in the future. Does that make sense? So if you're single, great time to meet someone who's going to be a long-term romantic soulmate. If you're already with someone, there's a lot of happiness there, a lot of developments there. For a select few of you, this opportunity may actually exist with someone who you currently have a misunderstanding with. Okay, so this could be someone from your past, or if it's not from your past, this could be, maybe you're just like going through a little tiny tiff with the person you're with, in a relationship with, or something like that, and peace is restored. And the thing that you need to know about this is that the ball is in your court for this. Okay, so if someone completely like cheated on you, backstabbed you, and left your life, that's not who we're talking about. Okay, this would be a misunderstanding where it was kind of your fault. And again, that won't resonate for everyone, but it's like ball is definitely in your court here to either like apologize, come back, etc. And this person is going to be very accepting of that, and perhaps a little bit cautious, just a little bit cautious, because they don't want the past to repeat itself for sure. But that's actually beautiful if this is your fault, because that puts the power in your hands to correct it. But yeah, there's so much happiness here, long-term fulfilling energy, hard work paying off, and you're going from a state of being frugal and feeling like you barely have enough, either like love or money, to it's just completely overflowing in a way that's sustainable and can be something super long-term. So this is such a beautiful reading. So many positive cards here. I mean, these two tens, and you may be seeing 1010 as confirmation of this longevity and complete changes here. The Magician as well. Oh my gosh. Enjoy this quarter, guys. This will be a really big one for you for sure. All of these planets in the sign of Aries are bringing you major, major blessings. If you learn the lessons from your past, this is a time of a lot of productivity. You're on a really quick moving upward momentum in either like personal goals, projects, something, okay? And there's a lot of love here. This is crazy. The only thing I'm seeing is that there may be a fear within you of like this love and this passion that's taking off from me. Is that going to be a distraction from my success in career and personal goals? And the answer is no. You can balance the two. And in fact, I feel like that's why these two tens came out. It's like you can have it all emotionally and a very fulfilling emotional life and a very fulfilling career. All right, you can do both. You can do both. And you learned the tools, the wisdom that you need in order to do that, okay? Thank you guys for joining me. Definitely watch for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs to get the fullest overview of this quarter ahead. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check it out. Bye-bye.